Cable 4 York is proud to present YCIAA Basketball 88. Tonight's game is a District 3 semifinal Class AA action. The Annville Cleona Dutchmen against the Eastern Golden Knights. Hello once again, everybody. This is Kevin Drawball along with my partner Craig Smith, and us two along with the rest of the Cable 4 crew have made our way through the traffic to Millersville University for tonight's district semifinal. And Craig, it's an Annville Cleona team that comes in top rank at 22-3.
Outstanding team, great scorer on the team. You're going to get a chance to see a young man by the name of Will Lasky tonight. It's a player that a lot of people have heard about. Now you get a chance to see him in action against a very good York County team, Eastern.
Will Lasky comes into this game averaging 31 points a game. And Craig, he can do it all. I mean, you're going to see the complete ball player tonight.
Well, what you try to do as a coach, you really are going to see a complete ball player. And when a kid gets to the end of the season and he's having this kind of year, there's two approaches that you can take as a coach. Number one, you can just pretty much concede him his points and try to limit him to his average, which in Will Lasky's case is almost 30 a game. And then you try to shut down the other four players. The other thing that you can do is to try to put your toughest defensive man on him and then alternate players on him. I would expect tonight Mark Eckert would go with somebody like a Donnie Knobb. I don't think a gimmick defense will work against a Will Lasky.
Interesting story about Lasky is that last year when I was still at West York, we held him to 20-plus points. This year he exploded for over 40 against the Bulldogs. And the interesting thing about it is that Coach Petrie told me we tried everybody on him and nobody could stop him. And that's really something because West York, one of their strengths was their guard, their defensive play out of their guards.
Well, I think the strength of West York's guards was certainly their defensive play. But, you know, I think the key thing to look at there, too, is the margin of victory in those ball games. The common opponent to both these teams was West York. And when you look at the margin of victory, Annville didn't really come in and, like, totally dominate those teams. So you can have one player that scores a lot of points, but in a big playoff game like this, he's got to receive great support from the other four players.
Now, as far as Eastern is concerned, they come in here with a much taller lineup, so for Annville Cleona, they could have some matchup problems tonight.
Well, I think they'll have matchup problems. Number one, I think Paul Abel has certainly come along as a guard. We saw him early in the year come in as a freshman and have to start a big ball game. He wasn't really ready for varsity action at that time. He was kind of forced into it. Now he's got basically a complete season under his belt. He, along with Donnie Knobb, give them the physical strength and the ability at guard. You combine that with the fine front line of John Robb, and I think Ryan Smith has just gotten better and better each game. I like him as a player. You know I love him as an offensive rebounder. So I give the edge certainly across the front line to the Eastern Golden Knights.
Annville, Cleona, and Eastern. The winner gets a trip to the Farm Show and the Class AA Finals. We'll be back to meet the lineups right after this. Tonight's action between the Knights and the Dutchmen is being sponsored in part by Dr. Malcolm Weiss, 900 Helm Street in Wrightsville. Jim Warfel Realty Center at RD24 in Helm. Allied Hydraulic Pump and Repair Service. Phil's Family Restaurant, a pan pizza specialist. Jim Hake's Auto Service, Fishing and Hunting Supplies, located at 100 Willow Street in Wrightsville. Melcor Tool and Machine Company, precision lathe, mill, and grinding. Realtor Associate Ralph Bookmeyer, Caldwell Banker, the specialist in the Eastern area. Charles M. Swartz, interior and exterior painting and wallpapering. Emilio's Pizza and Sub Shop at 50 West Maple Street in East Prospect. Thanks to all our sponsors who in part have brought us tonight's District 3 semifinal. Tonight's District 3 action from Millersville, sponsored in part by Dr. Malcolm Weiss, Wrightsville Family and Practice Center at 900 Helm Street in Wrightsville. Back here at Millersville University as we're set for the Eastern Golden Knights and the Annville Cleona Little Dutchmen. Let's go right down to the floor and meet tonight's starting lineup.
Introducing first, starting lineup for Eastern York. At center, at 6'7", number 52, Jonathan Ross. At 6'3", number 44, Kurt Rieger. At guard, at 6 feet, number 40, Donald Knob. At forward, at 6'4", number 42, Ryan Smith. And at guard, at 5'10", number 22, Paul Abel. Head coach of Eastern York, Mr. Mark Eckert. Introducing the starting lineup for Annville Cleona. At guard, number 11, at 6 feet, Will Lasky. At guard, number 24, at 5'9", Kevin Schrader. At forward, at 5'11", number 31, Rob Snyder. At forward, at 6'1", number 40, Mike Fulmer. And at center, at 6'4", number 50, Ron Greer. Head coach of Annville Cleona, Mr. Jim Kreider.
The top-seeded Dutchmen against the 4th-seeded Golden Knights. We'll be back with the district semifinals right after this. Tonight's action between the Knights and the Dutchmen is being sponsored in part by
the Victory Athletic Club, 471 Ogon Street in York. Cool Creek Country Club, open to the public, an 18-hole golf course in Wrightsville. Don's Kawasaki, motorcycles and jet skis at 20 East Market Street in Hellam. Daniel M. Pell, attorney at law. Call 84 Legal in York.
Thanks to all our sponsors who in part have brought us tonight's District 3 semifinal. Back here at Millersville, set for the District 3 Class AA semifinals. Craig, interesting to note that we got, I believe, is it the same 2 officials? I know we got one of the same from the York High game that we did here last week.
1 of 2, and yeah, maybe 2 of 2. I didn't really take a look at it. 2 of 2. Very unusual. I guess they're keeping officials stationary and rotating the teams this year.
We're set to go. Flying Duck, or excuse me, the Little Dutchmen. I'll be calling them the Flying Dutchmen
Flying
all
Dutchmen
night.
are
Lebanon
Valley College, right.
Annville Cleona will be in white, Eastern in blue. The tap is controlled by the Golden Knights. Knob controls, gives it away to Paul Abel.
Annville Cleona opens man-to-man, Kevin. And you want to watch Lasky on defense, too. See how hard Eastern makes him work.
Eastern draws first blood as Ryan Smith gets the bucket, and he's going to have a chance at the three-point play.
Well, that's where it's at. It's got to be down inside early, because with the size domination of Eastern, if they go inside, they're going to force Annville Cleona into a foul kind of situation early.
Smith completes the three-point play, and Eastern breaks on top, 3-0. There's the man, number 11, Will Lasky. Gives it away to Rob Greer. Rob lets him alone outside. Thinks about it. Now he puts it up. It's going to be a 2-pointer. It's way long. Rob blocks the shot by number 40, Mike Fulmer, and Paul Abel comes away with it and steps out of bounds.
Well, let's see what the Golden Knights can do on defense now. They've played very good defense the last 7 games. Only York Suburban and Kennerdale have scored 50 or more against them.
Greer goes right to the baseline and right around Rob to put in the first 2 for the Little Dutchman. 3-2, Eastern on top, and Ryan Smith turns it over as he just ran right down to the baseline.
I'll tell you, 2 turnovers right there, one by Abel, one by Smith, totally unnecessary. Both of them from veteran players wouldn't really be that significant, but in a playoff game, they become magnified.
Lasky penetrates and floats one up from the lane and puts the Annville Cleona squad on top. Knob pushes it into Rob. Turnaround, too strong. Greer gets the rebound, loses it on the floor, picks it up, and gives it away to Schrader. Lasky, long for Fulmer, and it's too long. Appears to me, Craig, that early Annville Cleona wants to run.
Absolutely, they're turning up the defensive pressure. picking up at about the foul line on Eastern's end of the court. And they're going to challenge Donnie Knob and Abel early.
There's Knob all the way to the hoop, and he rolls one in.
You know, he's shown the ability to penetrate a lot this year, and I think if they pick him up, then he's got the opportunity to dump to Smith or Robb.
Annville Cleona comes right back as Rob Greer takes one to the hole and goes up over Rob for two.
Hey, screen door defense so far. Just let people go right down through the middle.
Eastern sets it up now in the half-court offense into Rob. Stopped by Lasky, so he pulls up and he puts one off the glass for two.
They're going to have to make a decision as to whether they're going to want to front Rob and then play a weak side forward behind him, because if they give him that shot, he's going to make a high percentage of those.
Lasky penetrates too hard off the glass. Smith comes away with it as it's stolen by Schrader.
That's 3 turnovers for Eastern early that they should not have made.
Lasky left alone all the way to the hoop, and he's got it.
Now, think about that turnover. Smith should have gotten a clean outlet pass. Instead, what do they end up with? A foul and an opportunity for Annville Cleona to put 3 on the board, and Eastern gets an opportunity to put nothing on the board. As this is a result of the steal, they go right back at Smith. He tries to block the shot. Gets called for the foul.
And nobody for Eastern really saw Lasky even penetrating.
I tell you, if anything happens when a big team meets a much smaller team, is that they tend to try to block shots rather than play good position defense and force a bad shot.
Another turnover as Abel throws it away. Lasky on the run. For two, he's got it.
Well, he's got a classic jump shot.
Well, the thing I remember about him is he's so quick off his feet.
Well, Annville Cleona has 11 and Lasky has 7.
Reichert called for the foul as he charges into Lasky in the backcourt.
I tell you, as a coach, I wouldn't be afraid to call timeout right now or real early to get Eastern under control. Too many turnovers. When you look down at the list, they got 5 turnovers, and we don't even have 3 minutes gone in this ball game.
Schrader out on the wing. Looks inside to Greer. Gets the pass. Has it blocked from behind by Smith. Comes away with it. Goes long for Knob. 2-on-1. Knob goes all the way to the hoop. Can't hit it. Abel comes away with the rebound. He spins to his right. He can't hit it. And Greer pulls it down for the little Dutchman. Lasky on the run. Lasky against Reichert. Up over top. And he's got it. And he's fouled.
Timeout right now for Eastern, because they're not getting back on defense. They're not getting the right high percentage kind of shots. They're rushing the shot. And now watch this move that Lasky makes. He shows to the inside and then breaks on the crossover dribble back to the baseline side, puts it up, and the foul is called.
It's going to be 2 on Kirk Reichert. Lasky with another 3-point play, and it's 14-7, Annville Cleona.
And we're just under 5 minutes in the first quarter, and the little Dutchmen have doubled the score on Eastern.
Rob left alone. The pass goes right through his hand. Lasky brings it up, works against Knob, goes for the steal. Shot blocked by Smith. Good help that time by Ryan Smith. Reichert on the run, tries to push it into Rob, and it goes off his hands and out of bounds.
I don't know what happened. It really looked like a miscommunication there. Rob didn't look like he was expecting a pass, and yet I feel the inside players for Eastern have always got to be expecting a pass on that drive and penetration by the guards.
Greer comes out in the wing, penetrates. His shot is too short. Schrader comes up with the loose ball, left alone, and he hits one from the wing. Rob pulls it down as there's 4 Annville Cleona players waiting. Cross court to Knob. He's left alone, and he banks one home. 16-9, Annville Cleona on top with just under 4 minutes to play in the first period.
Eastern staying in a man-to-man, and the assignment on Lasky, as anticipated, is with Donnie Knob.
Greer can't hit the opening jumper, and Smith comes away with the Eastern rebound. Reichert slowly up court, gets a screen from Rob, goes all the way to the hoop, left-handed, and he can't get it. Here comes Lasky on the run again, has Schrader on the other wing, dumps it down to him underneath the bucket now. Pulls up and he hits one from the baseline.
Lasky proved to me on that play that he's more than a shooter. He's looking for a higher percentage shot out of the offense.
Reichert To the hoop, out of control, can't hit it, but Smith is there. His shot rolls out. Smith goes right over Fulmer for the rebound, and he's going to get the bucket. His career goaltend.
You said it right there, Kevin. They're out of control. There are shots being taken. Come down, set the offense. You dominate the size inside. You got Smith and Rob down there. Go for that higher percentage shot.
Greer penetrates, and he's got another one.
Greer has shown me early that he's not afraid to take it right at Smith and Rob. The Victory Athletic Club, 471 Oakon Street in York. Phone 843-5443. The Victory Athletic Club.
Monty Knob answers back for Eastern. 20-13, Annville Cleona. Fulmer down on the baseline. Lasky penetrates against Knob, and he gets in there free, and he hits another one from the middle of the lane.
I tell you, there's still 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Eastern already has given up more points in a half than what they have over the last 7 games. Their defensive average is 47 points a game, 46 points a game over the last 7 games.
Riekert penetrates, has it knocked away, and Greer comes up with the loose ball. Fast break the other way, 3-on-3, but Schrader's left alone, and he's got it.
Eastern's guards are not getting back. They're penetrating, and they're not getting back against the break.
Donnie Knob signals timeout. 24-13, Annville Cleona on top with 1:57 to play in the first period. Tonight's action between the Knights and the Dutchmen is being sponsored in part by
Miles Muffler and Brake Shop, 32 years of service to York. WD Fox, Tapping and Welding, RD2, Wrightsville. And East Lincoln Lanes, a pro shop and custom drilling of your equipment, a family bowling center on Route 462 between Hellam and Wrightsville.
Thanks to all our sponsors who in part have brought us tonight's District 3 semifinal. Craig, we've been talking about how Eastern's not getting back, and look at this, 3 guys back here, but nobody gets to Schrader.
That's the essence of their problems through the first quarter. They're down 24-13. Will Lasky has 12 of those 24 points, and Will Lasky has also shown me he is a passer and an assist man. And talk about percentage shots: 2, 4, 6, 7 in the paint, layups, only 1 from the perimeter really, plus 2 high percentage jump shots. So Annville Cleona is definitely getting the kind of shots that they need against Eastern.
Eastern gets it across the timeline.
If you beat that height down the court, you're going to score before it can set up and dominate you defensively.
Abel goes to his left, and he rolls one in. Minute and a half to play in the first period. Lasky now being guarded by Reisinger. He hounds him into a bad shot, really. Here comes Eastern on the run, and Abel looked like he went back court, but it wasn't called. Riekert for 3. Can't get it. Greer and Reisinger fight for it, and Reisinger's called for the foul.
A 3-point shot down 9 doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Run the offense, go to your high percentage shot. Your high percentage shots are with Rob and Smith. The Cool Creek Country Club, open to the public, an 18-hole golf course, complete pro shop, a lounge and banquet facilities. RD1 in Wrightsville, the Cool Creek Country Club. Phone 252-3691.
Reisinger on Lasky, belly to belly button, and he's too close as he's called for the foul. That's going to put Annville Cleona into 1-1 with 58 seconds to play in the first period.
Just under a minute to play in the first period. Annville Cleona has 24 on the board. In the last games of the season of Eastern, Suburban scored 54, Votech 34, Kennerdale 50, York Catholic 48, Trinity 45, Lancaster Mennonite 49. 46.7 average defensively, and already they've given up 26 points.
Lasky hits them both. 26-15, Annville Cleona on top. Reisinger gives it away to Abel. Good pass inside to Rob. Stripped away by Lasky, but he's on the baseline. Alley-oop inside to Rob. Goes up. Too short. Can't hit it. And Greer collects the rebound and gets it away to Snyder. Now they find Lasky, and he's on the run again. Good pass. Cross court to Fulmer. Blocked from behind by Smith. Robb left alone at the foul line. One dribble. Now he finds Riekert down low. Ducks his way in there, and he hits it.
Nice pass. They pulled Greer out away from the basket, and Robb, looking for the jump shot, saw the open player down, and Riekert put it down.
Back to a 9-point lead. 8 seconds to play. And as Annville Cleona looks for the last shot, Paul Abel, not able to get the steal, commits the foul on Kevin Schrader. Tonight's game also sponsored in part by Jim Warfel Realty Center, real estate sales and appraisals, multiple listing service at RD24 in Hellam. Schrader hits the first. I'll tell you another thing Coach Petrie told me about this Annville Cleona team. They can shoot fouls, 30 of 39 in their game versus West York. Down to 5 seconds. Riekert finds Robb. Can he get it away? Yes, he can, and count it. That's going to end the first period of play here from Millersville. Annville Cleona, the top-seeded team in Class AA, is on top, 28-19.
Bad days. Everybody has them.
Hello? No. Not even with both of us working. The baby is crying. I gotta go.
Even the littlest thing can set you off. Stop. Take time out. Count to 10. Box 2866, Chicago.
Tonight's game sponsored in part by Allied Hydraulic Pump and Repair Service at 101 North Broad Street in Hellam. We look at some of the Eastern fans as they've made the trek across the river to Millersville University to check out tonight's ball game.
Story of the first quarter, Kevin. 8 Eastern turnovers resulting in 13 Little Dutchman points.
Smith with another block. The loose ball comes to Paul Abel. He pushes it up now for Eastern. Ill-advised pass by Riekert, and Snyder stepped right in the passing lane and picked it a wall. Here comes Lasky on the run. Pulls up in front of Reisinger, and he rolls it home.
What a touch. I like Greer, I like Lasky. The other guys are complementary players, kind of hard-working, blue-collar kind of players. I thought that Snyder did a good job defensively that last time down. Now, Eastern just needs to get some screening inside. Look at Greer leaning on Robb.
And as soon as Robb gets it, even though they drew the foul that time, when he turned around, Rob Snyder was waiting for him as soon as he turned around.
It looks like their strategy is, let's really muscle up to Robb, keep him as far away as possible. Watch the body that Greer, number 50, has on Robb. And then he'll get the help from the weak side. We'll keep a look on that as this quarter proceeds.
Robb finds the open man Smith, penetrates, and he rolls it home. (30-21). Annville on top. Lasky to the foul line, leans in, off Reisinger. Can't get it. They fight for it inside, and the foul's going to be called on Ryan Smith. No, it's going to be called on Annville Cleona, I believe.
Let's give Reisinger some credit that time defensively. He played good, solid, fundamental defense, positioning his feet, putting his body in the right spot to make that a difficult shot by Lasky.
Eastern with a chance to get it to 7. Riekert goes right around Greer, penetrates to the hoop, bounce pass to Smith, and he got it. Good pass by Kirk Riekert.
Excellent pass by Kirk Riekert.
Greer cross court for Lasky. Pump fake. Now he finds Fulmer down on the baseline. They screen for Schrader, left alone, passes up the shot. Inside to Greer, has it stripped away, and Knob comes up with it.
Robb did a good job that time. I was watching him on Greer. He really sloughed off of him, but when it looked like the ball was coming to Greer's side, he really bellied up and forced him into putting the ball on the floor.
Reisinger penetrates, throws one up, and he can't get it, and then he commits the foul.
Reisinger is in there primarily for defensive purposes, Kevin. You bring a player in like that, averaging just a little over 1 point a game. His role is not to come in here and drive down and fire up a crazy shot. Okay, 3 personal fouls now on Reisinger, and he really wouldn't have had his 3rd personal foul if he wouldn't have fired up this shot. left-hander moving to his right. That was a difficult shot.
Tonight's second quarter sponsored in part by Phil's Family Restaurant, located at 960 Helm Street in Wrightsville.
We'd also like to thank tonight's sponsor, Don's Kawasaki, motorcycles and jet skis. For sales and service at 20 East Market Street in Helm. Phone 755-6002, Don's Kawasaki.
Snyder in the lane, gets it away to Lasky, but Snyder was in there too long, and they're going to call 3 seconds. 8-point Dutchman lead at 31-23. Smith along the baseline. His shot is short, and Schrader's there for the loose ball. Lasky works against Knob. Greer penetrates, pulls up over Riekert, and he's got it off the glass.
That was a tough shot. I don't know how he made that shot.
Riekert had the position, but Greer just seemed to slide around him. Abel goes to the hoop. He's tripped up. Lasky comes away with the loose ball and gets it to Schrader. Schrader finds Lasky, but he threw his pass a little bit too far, and Will couldn't come up with it. There's a case where the three-point line actually hurt the offense, Craig, as Lasky was waiting for 3, and the pass was in 2-point range.
Exactly. He was checking his feet location.
Riekert can't hit the layup. Smith gets the offensive rebound and powers it back in.
That's where he's toughest. But, you know, even with that really bad-looking turnover last time down by Annville Cleona, they have just 4. Eastern has 10 in the ball game.
Greer leans in, and he draws the foul from Ryan Smith.
Attorney Daniel M. Pell, practice limited to bodily injuries, defective products and Social Security, disability, and workers' compensation cases. We'll get back to that in just a minute, Kevin. Let's take a look at this action again. Ryan Smith, now as soon as he drops that right foot, he's given the baseline, and the dip of the right shoulder puts Greer on the foul line because the contact was made. Daniel M. Pell, call 8-4 legal in York, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Daniel M. Pell, specializing in practice of bodily injuries, defective products, and Social Security, as well as disability and workers' compensation cases.
Greer gets shut out from the line on that trip. Riekert double teams, finds Smith, pulls up from the elbow, and he hits it. Down to a 6-point lead, 33-27, Annville on top.
Annville Cleona has left some openings here, and Eastern is starting to shoot better with a higher percentage shot and get back into the ball game.
Knob with the block, and then the rebound, and a good bounce pass ahead to Abel. Dumps it back to Rob, and he's got it off the glass.
Knob gets credit for the defense and a long bounce pass. Abel for an excellent drop back pass to the lane being filled. Good timeout.
Annville Cleona wants a timeout. We're going to keep it right here as they look across the gym. The Eastern faithful on their feet. They like the comeback they're seeing by the Golden Knights. And it's a comeback, Craig, that really, just like you said, a little patience on the offense. And when they get the chance to run the fast break, now they're converting it.
All right, this play caps off a 10-5 Eastern run. The long bounce pass. Now Abel realizes, hey, I'm too far into the backboard. He dumps it back exactly where it should have been to Rob filling that lane. You always have to have the big man trailing so that if that kind of situation occurs, he's right there for a high percentage shot. So Eastern, after their timeout, I think has done a good job adjusting. Annville Cleona has not been able to fast break as they did early in this ball game. Eastern's defense has tightened up down low. Greer is not getting those high percentage shots. And Knob is doing a good job doubling down on the inside game.
As they check back into the floor, Greer takes a seat. And Doug Gibson has checked into the Annville lineup as they turn it over on the inbounds pass. Rob receives the inbounds pass and gives it back to Riekert, and he heads up the court.
That's the 5th turnover by Annville Cleona.
Rob finds Abel, tries to dish it off to Riekert, knocked away. Riekert gets to the foul line, pulls up. His shot is not going to go down. Schrader gets the rebound, and here comes Lasky. Penetrates. Too hard off the glass, and Rob's there for the rebound. Lasky pokes it away, and then Rob recovers and gives it away to Ryan Smith. Eastern's going to have to hurry to get it over the timeline. They do so as Abel crosses the white stripe. Riekert, it'll be a two-pointer, and he's got it.
He must have the green light to keep shooting. That's the second jumper in a row he's taken.
Down to a 2-point Annville lead. Doug Gibson, who's just checked into the lineup, finds Fulmer. Lasky penetrates left-handed, and it won't go down, but he draws the foul from John Robb. Well, when you look out on the floor now, Craig, Annville's really small with Greer out of the lineup.
They really are. He's coming right back in now, though. Now, here again, Lasky's so quick coming through, but obviously Donnie Knob has done a good job on him in combination with Reisinger over this latter stages of the first half, because Lasky jumped out to 14 quick points, has just 2 in the last couple minutes plus that foul shot, so he's up to 17 on the ball game. Their scoring is concentrated in the hands of 3 players, Lasky, Schroeder, and Greer.
They try and go into Smith, and Greer comes up with the interception.
Eastern's not doing a lot of screening inside. They're basically just trying to pump it into a man posted up low.
Inside it goes to Snyder, goes right around Riekert, and he can't roll it in. Knob slowly up the left side. Now he pulls up. His shot's too short. Greer and Smith fight for it in a jump ball situation.
You know, you can say nobody came out and played him on defense, but is that really the shot that Eastern wants? I don't think so, because even down 4, you know, they've pulled it back within 2 or 4 points now after being down as many as 11. You want the best percentage shot available.
Abel gets into the foul line, and he hits another one.
Abel has 4, Knob 6, Smith 13, Riekert 4, and Robb 6. So all starters are in the scoring.
Schrader with the rainbow up over Smith and Robb, and he got it. Back and forth they go with 2 minutes to play in the second period. Abel to Robb on the wing. Lasky knocks it away, comes up with the steal, and he's going to go in and get the easy 2.
Lasky's name might be Pesky by the end of this game.
And I believe somebody was charged with a technical.
44.
And it was either Riekert or Knob.
It was Riekert, because the official flashed 44, so the technical was on Riekert. Lasky on the quick breakaway. I didn't really see what happened, Kevin.
I didn't either.
I can't imagine he said anything to the official. It was a clean steal. Good breakaway by Lasky.
Lasky had been perfect from the line. That was his first miss.
You know, Annville Cleona has lost only to Cedar Crest back in December, 89-78. They lost to Millersburg, 84-66, down in Florida at the Burger King Classic tournament in Orlando. Won 16 straight, went 14-0 in Division III of the Lancaster Lebanon League before they lost to Manheim Township, 86-62, for the Section 1 title in Lancaster Lebanon League. So only 3 losses for the first-ranked, first-seeded Annville Cleona, Little Dutchman.
Lasky has it stolen by Robb. He goes long for Knob, chases it down, left alone, puts one up, too long. Reisinger had to rebound and lost it. Now he fights back for it and comes up with a loose ball.
Knob is aiming his shot. That's 2 shots that the defense didn't come out on him, and he was very tentative about taking the shot.
Really not even a jump shot. He's just staying on the floor with his feet.
Now watch this. Knob's out in front of the break. He sees he doesn't have a break. At that point, there's really no need to take that shot. And if you're going to take it in and make the defense play and try to open up something.
Robb throws it away, but Reisinger there again. Come up with the loose ball.
He's made 2 big plays here, just scrambling after the loose ball.
Smith, guarded by Greer. Inside it goes to Robb. Turns around, and he's got it from the lane.
They've rotated defensive players on him. They've had Snyder on him. They've had Greer on him.
Eastern with a chance now to get it back to 3 as Greer turns it over.
But when Snyder's on him, he's giving up all kinds of height because Snyder comes in at just 5'11". So you're talking about an 8-inch advantage for John Robb.
Reisinger has it stolen. Schrader comes up with it. Down to 30 seconds to play. Let's see if the Little Dutchmen are going to pull it out. We're going to do so. Lasky checks the clock. Penetrates, floats one up, can't hit it. Left-handed tap, and he's got it.
He says, why waste time, coach? I can penetrate and score.
Eastern with a chance now, down to 10 seconds. Abel to Robb. Reisinger. Smith with 5. Reisinger, good pass, knocked away from behind by Snyder. Can he get it away? No. They call traveling, but that's going to end the half. Eastern made a slight comeback in the second quarter, but Annville Cleona pulls away to 7 with the 42-35 lead at the half.
What would it be like to play in a Pro-Am with Tom Watson?
If you see anything I can improve, Tom, just speak up.
Remember, Andy, you have to turn your back to the target every time you make a full swing. On chip shots around the green, you start the forward swing by moving your right knee toward the target, like this. That's it. And when you're putting into the wind, first widen your stance, and then crouch a little.
Well, thanks, Tom. You got any more pointers?
The best one of all. You get a lesson every month along with tips from players like Jack Nicklaus, Tom Kite, and Sam Snead.
Golf Digest is like playing with the champs 12 times a year. Call 800-892-9000 for a full year of Golf Digest for $12.77, 46% off the cover price. Order now and also get golf lessons from the pros free. Call 800-892-9000.
We're going to look at Will Lasky, who has led the way for the Annville Cleona Little Dutchman with 23 first-half points. And Craig, that's been the story that to get them to that 7-point lead. The penetration of Lasky has gotten them a lot of easy buckets.
Kevin, he's really good. This is the first time I'm seeing Will Lasky. He can shoot the outside jumper. He did that early. And then if you come up and play him tight, man, he'll blow right by you. So you have a guard like that that's a real smart player. And then he sets both of those things up by also being a passer. He's got a couple good high percentage assists in the first half, and that makes it even tougher on a defensive player. When you take a look at the stats, there's two really very deceiving statistics, I think. When you look at rebounds, you say, well, Eastern's got to be winning the ball game. They're out rebounding the Little Dutchman 17-9. But the more telling stat go all the way down to turnovers. 14 turnovers for Eastern have resulted in 19 Annville Cleona points.
And a lot of those turnovers early in the ball game that got Annville Cleona in the lead and forced Eastern to catch up.
Exactly. Got them that nice cushion of 10, 11 points, and they kept that margin. Now they're up by 7 at the half. The other percentages about even. Eastern shooting well, 17 of 30 from the field, 16 of 31 for Annville Cleona. Another telling stat here, Annville Cleona has gone to the foul line 14 times, made 10. Eastern's been to the foul line 1 time, made 1. So the game's been won in turnovers, or the lead is there for Annville Cleona because of turnovers and foul shooting.
Individually, as we look at our leading scores, as we said, Lasky leads the way for Annville Cleona with 23, Schrader with 10, and Greer with 9. They're the only 3 guys that have scored for Annville Cleona, Craig. And like you said, if that's going to be the case, maybe it is a chance for Eastern to go with some type of gimmick defense on Lasky.
It is something to think about, because at halftime, if you go to a triangle 2, I don't know that I'd go box 1. I might go triangle 2, because you can box out Greer on shots, and you can get the help defense on the inside against Lasky when he penetrates. Gimmick defenses usually don't work for a long period of time, but when you see a weakness in a team where there's only 3 guys in the scoring column, you got to force those other 2 guys who haven't scored to take shots and see if they can beat you.
You've got to look at the Golden Knights coming out of the locker room. They've been led in the first half by Ryan Smith with 13, Robb with 8, and Knob with 6. Riekert has 4, and Abel also has 4, so they've gotten scoring from all of their starters.
A lot A lot of the shots, I wanted to add one thing too, Kevin. A lot of the shots have been in high percentage areas for both teams. The shots have been missed, been perimeter shots, and we have yet to see a three-point shot in this ball game.
Tonight's halftime report has been sponsored by Jim Hakes Auto Service and Fishing and Hunting Supplies. Jim Hakes is located at 100 Willow Street in Wrightsville. 42-35, the halftime score. Annville Cleona on top of Eastern. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
Sorry about that.
Maybe you heard just a little crack is okay. Maybe you heard cocaine can't really hurt you. Well, you heard wrong. There's no home run on cocaine. You get me? Are you listening? Just a little bit of crack or cocaine can be addictive or even kill you. That's the real truth. The lie is, it's the other guy who's going to die.
Cocaine, the big lie. Call 1-800-662-HELP.
Ready for second half action here from Millersville. Annville Cleona with a 7-point halftime lead. Craig, we talked at halftime, you and I, about what Eastern has to do offensively. We both think they have to get the ball inside, but they've got to do it by setting some screens for the big guys.
They've got to do it a little bit more creatively. Just because Rob's 6'7" and he's being guarded by a player 5'11" doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because he's going to be two-time or they're going to play the passing lane. You just can't pound it in from the wings. Look for a little creativity. Screen across, screen, pick and roll, high-low post kind of thing, where you're getting a much better, cleaner pass into the paint.
Well, here's your gimmick defense. Looks like a box and one on Will Lasky. Knob's going to be the one to chase. It goes right in there. Knob with quick hands knocks it away, and then it went off of Lasky's leg and out of bounds.
This is real unusual. Both coaches have their defenses in the second half, not their offenses. Most coaches like to set up their game so that they have the offense in the second half.
Reeker with the quick pass and a good pass inside to Rob, and he opens the second half with a bucket.
By that I mean having their offense in front of their own bench. Now defensively you could say, well, if he goes to the junk defense, Donegal tried that during the year. If you read the article in the Lancaster paper back in late February, Lasky scored 37 points in a triangle and two defense. The gimmick, however, was that two guys were playing Lasky. He ran through the middle, realized two guys were guarding him, and actually started laughing with his teammate Greer.
And it was Greer that time to get the first bucket of the second half for the little Dutchman. Knob for three. He's got it.
First three-pointer of the ball game. And the way Knob shot tentatively in that second quarter, I think that's a real positive sign for the Golden Knights starting out this third quarter.
Lasky has it knocked away. Now he has it stripped by Abel, and Knob comes up with it. And then Lasky commits the foul as he poked Knob right in the eye.
Purely accidental.
Yep.
Nothing intentional there at all. Lasky was reaching around trying to swat at the ball. I'll tell you what, there isn't too many things more painful than a finger in the eye. It just kind of stuns you.
They look there at the Annville Cleona bench. Their head coach, Jim Kreider, trying to lead the Little Dutchman to the district finals.
As I said, they went 14-0, Kevin, and in that game against Donegal, they won 78-74. But can you imagine scoring 37 points with two guys on you? Well, let's look what happened before the injury to Donnie Knob. They reversed the ball really well. The pass came from Ryan Smith on the baseline, back out. Good passing concept, but good passing sequence, and he drops in the three. And then as he went back down the court, the finger in the eye.
As they work on Donnie Knob down on the floor, we're going to take a timeout. 44-40, Eastern is pulled to within 4.
You know, a rumor's like the first spark of a brush fire. It starts small and pretty soon is totally out of control. That's what's happening with AIDS. People actually believe you catch AIDS from public bathrooms or sharing telephones. The truth is, there's not a single case of AIDS on record caused by casual contact. Please don't believe every rumor you hear. Find out the truth.
Rumors are spreading faster than AIDS. For more information, write the American Red Cross.
Craig, that injury is going to force Mark Eckert's hand as he was playing a box and one, and Knob was the guy to chase Will Lasky. Let's see what he does now.
Well,
Ed Reisinger back in.
Reisinger's going to have to come back in and fill the defensive bill. Now, Reisinger gave 3 fouls in the first half playing Lasky, and so he's got, in essence, 2 to give. But the key is going to be keep an eye on Donnie Knob and see if the eye clears up well enough to play. And most importantly, well enough to play defensively, more so than offensively.
Smith back out to Abel. Gets to the foul line. Too long. Good rebound by Snyder.
I'd still rather see Eastern stay with the inside game until they get the lead and then pull out Annville Cleona.
Snyder left alone. Then he finds Fulmer in the middle, alters his shot, and it's way off the mark, and Smith gets the rebound. Reisinger on the wing, looks inside to Rob.
Definitely letting him play inside. You can get a lot of hands on a guy defensively.
Smith comes out, can't hit the open jumper. Lasky comes away with the rebound. Heads up court, bounce pass to Schrader. His layup's too hard, and Rob collects the loose ball, has it knocked away. They fight for it, and Rob picks it up.
I'm telling you, it's getting physical. I happened to watch Rob on that last attempt at an offensive rebound. He was clearly pushed from behind by Snyder.
Riekert found Rob alone inside, and as he spun to the basket, he laid it in.
I'll tell you what the Achilles heel might be of Annville Cleona. Number 31, Rob Snyder, is really dragging. He looks to me like he's tired.
Schrader finds Snyder. Now he gives it away to Greer. Left alone, ducks in the lane, too short. Smith comes away, and here comes Eastern with the chance to tie. Riekert pushes it ahead, and Schrader, when he saw that, just cut right in front and not only knocked the ball away, but stole it.
Boy, Schrader is a nice complimentary guard. Good defensive player.
Fulmer goes in, and he has the shot blocked by Rob, but Rob also draws the foul.
A lot of time left in this ball game. I don't know what all the impatience is all about. Just play the good D. Don't go for those blocks. I mean, you got a height advantage there. Square up on the baseline. Take the charge. If you can't get the charge, just make them force and alter their shot. You don't have to go for the blocks.
Mike Fulmer, a 6'1" senior, hits the first of the 2-shot foul.
I think they got to get Snyder a blow. He looks really tired, even coming out of halftime.
Second one rolls out, and Rob all alone for the Eastern rebound.
I'd test him. Let's see who's. I think Snyder's still on Rob. Take it down inside to Rob and force him to play him.
Abel pushes it back out to Reisinger.
See, no screening inside. Ryan Smith posted up low. Rob posted up high. No screen down, Kevin. Normally you're going to screen down out of that or screen up or run some kind of gimmick between your high-low post.
Smith tried to dribble through the double team and lost it out of bounds off his knee, so Annville Cleona with a 3-point lead has a chance to build on it. Greer goes to the baseline against Smith, cut off. Gibson left alone, hits the open jumper.
Smith did a good job defensively that time, and the weak side lost track of their men.
Abel penetrates, tries to sneak one through to Smith. It comes off to Riekert. He can't get it. Rob goes up over the back. Smith can't get the tap. Schrader comes away. Lasky's all alone. Tries to save it. He's not going to be able to do so. You're right, Craig. It is getting rough inside.
It's getting very physical.
Abel gets it away to Reisinger. Now it's Smith down on the left baseline.
See, they got 2 players down around Rob. Now 3.
He's going to go to the foul line as Will Lasky got him down underneath.
31, Rob Snyder, reminds me of Jim Luskatoff. And boy, is that going back a couple years.
Yeah,
he's starting to beat up. Jim Luskatoff, look it up, Kevin. A hatchet man back in the NBA, but he's starting to really pound on John Robb. See, right there, as soon as Rob puts that ball down, everybody's after him.
Quick foul after the inbounds pass. It's going to be on Rob Snyder, number 31. Riekert to inbounds. Riekert post up on Lasky. Then he has it stripped away by Snyder and stolen by Schrader. Baseball pass to Lasky on the wing. Across to Gibson. Blocked from behind by Smith, and Rob gets the rebound.
Boy, that was a great pass by Lasky.
Ryan Smith must have about 5 blocks. And he's got 2 more points as he goes to the baseline.
I'm telling you, when John Robb leaves Eastern High School, if Smith improves as much as he did over this last summer, he is going to be an outstanding player. He is now. He's very good.
Lasky gets loose, dribbles through the double team, finds Schrader.
You won't forget her, John Robb, for a long time. Maybe never, but you can add a name to make people remember another name, Ryan Smith.
Lasky penetrates the middle and draws a foul from Kirk Riekert. It's going to be 3 on Kirk.
Here again, good quickness from the guards. As soon as they see an opening in the defense, they tend to try to split it. And then when you reach in like that, it's an automatic call.
Alley-oop on the inbounds pass, and give credit to Rob Greer for a good catch, and then was able to get his balance and lay it in. Rob is, you're right, Craig, is getting hammered. Riekert penetrates, tries to find Smith. Good catch by Ryan, and then he draws the foul from Rob Snyder.
I'll tell you, whether you score or don't score, you're paying the price inside right now because you got to pick yourself up off the floor. I can't remember more than about 2 times where the ball went inside that guys weren't picking themselves up off the floor. Same thing happens here to Ryan Smith. What really makes this play is the good hands and able to catch that ball, or else he wouldn't have even had a chance at the foul line. He would have had the ball going the other way.
That was a tough catch because Riekert really put some zip on that pass.
And I think it was partially deflected, which makes it change the angle and even a tougher catch.
Smith hits the first. Fulmer checks back in for Snyder.
I think this is the kind of team, Annville Cleona, that would be very difficult to press. When you have a Lasky, you start spreading your defense all over the floor. Lasky will have all kinds of openings.
Smith has the second one roll out. But really, you got to give credit to Mark Eckert. The boxing one has worked so far in the third period. Riekert knocks it out of bounds, so Annville Cleona to inbound.
Can't work any better than what it has. He hasn't scored in this third quarter.
He dump it into Greer, turns around on Smith. Can't hit it, and Abel's there for the rebound. Eastern with the chance to get it to 2. Smith turns, it rolls out, and Greer collects the rebound.
That was a good shot. Guy, the ball cleanly in the low post. He turned to the middle. That's a makeable shot.
Schrader out top.
I'm surprised Eastern's not getting as many second shots as they usually do tonight against essentially a much smaller lineup. So give some credit to Annville Cleona to play physical and block out.
Lasky comes off the screen and cans one from the baseline.
It's his first 2 of the second half. He's up to 25 on the ball game.
Abel works against Schrader. Schrader gets a piece of it. Abel retains possession. Lobs it in to Rob, and he hits one from the baseline.
Boy, they get so close, and they can't get over that hump, Kevin. They've gotten within 2, they've gotten within 4 a number of times, but it's been a struggle since that early cushion that you alluded to that Annville Cleona built up off of those Eastern turnovers.
Less than a minute to play in the third period. Schrader to Gibson at the foul line. Challenges the big guys, dumps it off to Greer. Blocked by Rob. Gibson's there, blocked by Smith. Reisinger comes away with the loose ball. Ahead to Riekert.
Patience now. No reason to rush it.
Riekert for 3, and he's got it.
Fortunate for it to go down, but I'm glad it did.
10 seconds. Schrader has Lasky behind him. Pump fakes, gets Rob in the air, leans in, can't get it. Fulmer, Greer, off the glass for 2. 8 minutes to go. The winner gets a trip to the Class AA Finals, 53-50 at the end of 3. Annville Cleona on top.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. It's a lovely day here in Georgia.
Good morning, Mr. President. It's a nice day here in California.
California? I could swear we were right next to each other.
With a communications satellite, we can be. That's one way space technology impacts on life here on Earth.
Television, telephone, and radio signals bounced off satellites bring people together who are thousands of miles apart.
They bring us world events as they're happening.
They help us educate, entertain, and inform.
But communications satellites are only one of the thousands of practical applications of space technology.
In the months ahead, you'll be hearing about remarkable advances in the diagnosis and treatment of heart disease and cancer.
New ways to generate electricity and control pollution.
All of them spin-offs of space technology. That's why Jimmy Carter from Georgia
and Gerald Ford from California agree.
Space technology has down-to-earth benefits for everyone.
I really don't know what to say. You're the first in this family to get into college.
And we're so proud of you.
I can't go, can I? Your mother and I have been over this a million times. Her work, my extra job. We just can't afford to send you.
We didn't mean to let you down.
I understand. Maybe next year. Maybe.
We cannot continue to deny bright, hard-working students the opportunity of going to college simply because they lack the funds. Please, support the United Negro College Fund and help keep tuition costs down and the dream alive.
Jimmy?
Yeah?
Will this help?
The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Tonight's fourth quarter is sponsored in part by Melcor Tool and Machine. And it's a fourth quarter that has seen Kirk Riekert open it off with a two-pointer. Annville Cleona, Greer left alone. No, it's Fulmer, and he is hammered by John Robb.
Two fouls on John Robb, and you know, he sort of showed me something there. He went back very physical. He said, look, I'm gonna go for the block, but if I miss, you're not gonna score on this. And that's not a bad message to deliver early in the fourth quarter, because Annville Cleona has been playing very physical against him. So I think that shows you something from John Robb down in his gut.
It was a wild scramble down in the corner, and Fulmer was all alone. And Robb really, like you said, Craig, came away with a foul that's going to leave an impression on Mike Fulmer.
Tonight's action also being brought to you in part by Miles Muffler and Brake Shop. 32 years of service to York. One-stop shopping for muffler and brakes. 600 West Market Street in York. Phone 848-1584. Miles Muffler and Brake Shop.
Fulmer can hit the first.
W.D. Fox, tapping and welding. RD number 2, Wrightsville, Pennsylvania. Phone 252-3908. W.D. Fox, tapping and welding.
Fulmer misses from the line, and Eastern with a chance to take their first lead. Abel draws the foul. Going to be called on Mike Fulmer as he couldn't get position along the baseline.
Let's give credit to Coach Eckert after his timeout in the first half, which a lot of people felt came fairly late. He slowed the momentum of Annville Cleona in the first half. The box and one has been effective in this second half against Lasky.
Abel ties it up at 53.
People forget Eastern is the defending district champions, and there was a lot of controversy. I thought the seeding of Eastern as fourth was rather surprising, quite frankly.
Abel gives Eastern its first lead of the night.
So with 7:16 to go in the game, Eastern has its first lead by 1.
Greer gets Smith in the air, and Robb puts it home. Abel the other way, spins to the middle. Can't get it. Smith there for the offensive rebound.
Great block by Robb. Excellent execution by Abel, and Ryan Smith on the offensive board.
John Robb looked like he was trying out for the Olympic volleyball team as he put that one back to the floor. 56-53, Eastern on top early in the fourth.
If you don't read the Wall Street Journal, you're saving a little time when you could be investing it.
Call 800-892-9000 for this great journal subscription offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-892-9000 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Watch this sequence. John Robb playing the middle is going to step up. He stays down on his feet. Now, good block, great block because it stays in bounds and allows Eastern to do something with it. Abel on the spin dribble right here, puts it up softly, hangs it around the rim, and right there is Ryan Smith, and I love Ryan Smith on the offensive boards.
This exciting fourth period of action being sponsored in part by Realtor Associates, Ralph Bookmeyer, Caldwell Banker, and Bob Yost Incorporated. Bob Yost is a specialist in the Eastern area. Another steal, Abel ahead of the pack. Lays it in.
Eastern's on a roll. The timeout didn't diminish the momentum.
Schrader left alone for three, and he's got nothing but net.
The game has gotten away from Lasky offensively and has gone to the other four players, which I think has been a plus for Eastern.
Riekert, too long. Gibson with a good block out, loses it off his knee, and Reisinger comes away and gets it to Abel.
That's three loose balls I can remember tonight that Ed Reisinger got his hands on and made big plays for Eastern.
Smith with the offensive rebound, and he lays it back in.
He has the uncanny natural ability to find the holes on the offensive boards.
Lasky to Schrader for three. Too short. Robb pulls it away from Snyder. 6-point Eastern lead with 5:45 to play. Riekert to the baseline. Robb's there for the tip.
Good timing. That ball was rolling out when Robb came in on it. Eastern has gotten extremely aggressive on offense. I think the pounding that they took in the third quarter has taken its toll on them mentally, and they're coming right back hard.
Lasky can't get the driving layup, and Gibson wisely pulls it back out. Lasky for three. Too short. Smith with another rebound. And John Robb signals timeout, and I'll tell you what, he just looked over at Mark Ecker and said, man, I'm taking a beat. Let's get a rest over here.
And by default, Rob Snyder on the other side said, thanks, Eastern, for calling a timeout because I'm exhausted. Watch this. Eastern has done one thing very solidly on the break tonight, and that's had a trailer. And this time, Riekert goes very aggressive to the boards. It's rolling out, and there is John Robb to tip it back in.
Tonight's fourth quarter is sponsored in part by Charles M. Schwartz, interior and exterior painting and wallpapering. For a free estimate, call 252-2495. Charles Schwartz is located at 442 Walnut Street in Wrightsville.
And we'd also like to thank a sponsor in part tonight of the game, East Lincoln Lanes. They have a pro shop, custom drilling of their equipment, and the Family Bowling Center at East Lincoln Lanes, Route 462 between Hellam and Wrightsville. Call for information or reservations at 252-3211 East Lincoln Lanes.
Speaking of the East Lincoln Lanes, Craig, you and Jim Plessinger still on the trail of York Championship Bowling?
Yeah, we're having a good time doing it. Heading north, south, east, and west to the various bowling centers around York. And speaking of other sports on Cable 4 York, quickly, here, Kevin, big doubleheader for us Friday night. The AAA Championship for boys, Quad A Championship for girls.
Lasky comes away with the steal and goes coast to coast for the layup.
Got the double team in the half court, right over the half court line.
62-58, Eastern on top. Riekert has it knocked out of bounds from behind by Kevin Schrader.
Eastern has outscored Annville Cleona 27-14 in the second half. Only 14 points for the little Dutchman. Lasky just 2 in the second half.
Well, if you're Eastern, I don't think you try and pull the ball out here and run some time, do you, Craig?
No, because they've done so well in the last couple minutes playing aggressively to the boards.
Good bounce pass by Paul Abel inside to John Robb.
2 in the book for John Robb, but 2 in Coach Eckert's heart. for Paul Abel. An excellent bounce pass to the inside.
Greer along the baseline, cut off, and Smith puts one back to the floor. Abel ahead of the pack, catches up to it, too hard, and Rob breakthrough!
Man, if they're not pumped up now, they'll never be pumped up.
Greer against Rob. And he's going to be called for the walk as he went up and down with it. Oh, you got to love it when the big guys run the court, Craig.
And Ryan Smith and John Robb have done just that tonight. And Don Raymer down on the baseline right on top of it. You can't get any closer to the action than what you get here on Cable 4 York. So we hope you're enjoying playoff action here on Cable 4 York, because we sure enjoy bringing it to you.
Well, it's going to come down to foul shooting now for the Golden Knights, ahead by 8 with 3.5 to play, and they finally reached the bonus.
If Eastern wins, Cable 4 York will follow them to the Farm Show Saturday night for the District 3 AA Championship.
You can just pull up a tent in the Farm Show over the weekend, and boy, would I love to do that.
That's right, great basketball. If you're a basketball fan of any level, single, double, triple, or quad A, be at the Farm Show this weekend. And if you can't be there, be with us.
Lasky out of control, charges right over Kirk Riekert and picks up the foul.
Annville Cleona almost needs another timeout to regroup, I think, because they're making a lot of mistakes by panicking and rushing. Down 10, 3:33 to go.
They get it into Robb. He finds Riekert, 2-on-1 the other way, goes against Greer, left-handed off the glass.
I think the pounding of Eastern by Annville Cleona in the third period really motivated the Eastern Golden Knights.
Rob Snyder and Annville Cleona wants a timeout. It's Eastern by 12 with 3:20 to play.
No way this guy's gonna beat me. Not today. My serve is booming. A forehand, just like Connor's. Come on, backhand. I read all about psyching out guys like this, and it works. It's really a pretty easy game when you get the right help. This guy's gonna be lucky to get more than 2 games off me.
Get a year of tennis for only $9.97, less than half the newsstand price. Call 800-892-9000. You'll also get our free booklet with tips to improve your game. Call 800-892-9000.
Craig, I think one of our statisticians, Bill Rule, has hit the nail right on the head. John Robb has established himself at both ends of the floor.
Blocks followed by follows, and quite frankly, I think Annville Cleona really hacked him off in the third quarter. And that's good. I like to see a kid respond that way.
Lasky gets a screen from Schrader and way short from three-point land. That looks like a tired shot. Riekert pulls it out. Now he penetrates. Stolen by Lasky, and he's going to draw the foul. It's going to be 4 on Will. So Kirk Riekert, who just hit 2 a minute ago, steps back to the foul line.
He comes into the ball game a 62% free throw shooter, 56 of 90. But it's what you do at this. It's what you do at this point in the ball game that counts. You make the call. Foul or clean steal.
Riekert can't get the second. 71-58, Eastern on top.
Snyder practically pushed Ryan Snyder to the square in Lancaster on that rebound.
Greer left alone over Smith, and he's got it.
It's going to take 4 scores for Annville Cleona to win this ball game.
Reisinger calls a timeout as he can't get it in. 2:29 to play. Tonight's fourth quarter of action, sponsored in part by Emilio's Pizza and Sub Shop at 50 West Maple Street in East Prospect. For dine-in or carry-out, go visit Emilio's in East Prospect.
This has been a game of streaks. Annville Cleona started fast out of the gate in this ball game, created a lot of turnovers, and they scored off those turnovers. They had 13 points early in this ball game off of 8 first quarter turnovers by Eastern. Eckert neutralized them a little bit in that second quarter. Lasky cooled a little bit. At halftime, they came back out boxing one. They shut Lasky down. He had just 2 points in the third quarter, 2 here in the fourth. And now Eastern has put on this spurt over the last 5 minutes that has really been impressive to go up 11.
And really, I think, like you said, Craig, the pounding that they gave away to Eastern has made them a tired ball club here in the fourth quarter, because some of these shots that they're putting up are either hitting the front of the rim or not even getting to the rim at all. Abel, great pass to Rob off the glass, and he's got it.
Well, let's give Rob 2 in the book, but did you like that pass or what? Behind the neck pass.
The other night we said that Brian Pearl and Spike Johnson, we can't call them freshmen anymore. We can't call Paul Abel a freshman anymore either.
Watch this pass. Total awareness of where the big guy was on the court. Right there. I got him.
Greer with the foul, going to send Rob to the line with a chance for 3.
Remember how tentative Abel was back in that York High gym coming in, having to start that ball game? Big difference.
Gibson penetrates, and he gets the blocking foul from Kirk Riekert.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Eckert goes to a zone. Now, he's been very successful man-to-man all year. But Eastern traditionally has played some good zone defenses. And right now, you got the dominance in height. You're up 13, 2 minutes to go. Why not force him to put it up from the outside? Just put extra special attention on Lasky.
We're going to zone the inbounds pass here. 2-3. Lob it into Greer. Penetrates Rob with another block, and he collects the rebound. Can't get the pass away. Schrader gets the steal, and then he walked as Rob was right there ready for another block. Riekert goes right around to Dutchman. Now he pulls it back out.
Riekert gives them a nice dimension, a forward that can swing both ways, can get to the guard spot and handle the ball and take some of that pressure off. Obviously, Eastern has been successful where other teams have not, going with a gimmick defense. Will Lasky has scored just 4 points in the second half.
And Annville Cleona in the position to chase, can't even commit a foul. Good job by the Golden Knights. The ball hasn't even hit the floor that many times.
Good job, and Annville Cleona's tired. And I've said it so many times before, when you're tired, this is like putting lead in your shoes to chase the ball across and around the court like that.
Reisinger gets hacked in the backcourt, so he steps to the line. 73 to 60. Eastern on top, down to 1:26 to play.
Reisinger just a 45% free throw shooter, 5 of 11.
Oh, Rob up over Greer and banks it home on the tip-in.
Another indication of how tired Annville Cleona is. Greer didn't even block out on that.
Gibson for 3, can't get it. Smith up high for the rebound, and they're going to get a technical foul on Greer as he grabbed the rim.
And Annville Cleona's players, particularly Greer, is now hanging his head. The other 4 guys hustle over, but Greer, I think, has pretty much conceded this ball game to the inside players of Eastern.
That's a tough technical right there, because he was flying through the air and just sort of grabbed the rim to study himself. Riekert can't hit the technical. They get another one, 2-shot foul.
You know, when you look at their numbers at the foul line, they're not a great foul shooting team. Their top free throw shooter is Abel. He's a 69% free throw shooter, followed by Knob, 67%, and Riekert, 62.
Abel spins in the air, can't get it. Schrader comes up with the rebound. Goes coast to coast. Can't lay it in. Rieker gets the rebound. Throws a good block on Mike Fulmer, and then he gets it ahead to Smith. Hello.
Exclamation point for Ryan Smith in this ball game.
Fulmer with the tip. He can't get it. Smith with the rebound, and he's fouled.
So Eastern, for the second year in a row, will go to the District 3 Finals. And what an impressive second half this has been for them, as they're now up 18. Let's watch the exclamation point by Ryan Smith.
Well, the winner of this one, and it's going to be Eastern, is going to get a chance to play the winner of Columbia and Delone. And if it's Columbia, it's going to be a rematch. And do you think anybody's going to be in Hellman Wrightsville on Saturday night?
It's going to be a dark town on both